Hello, 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 hello. This is mzjanis, your licensed natural hair care practitioner. I'm coming on just for a little bit to see, did you see the practical? To see if you saw the practical. On the practical, what I did is I made sure I did so much incorrect that as you're looking through the video, that you can say that's not right, that's not right, that's not right. Of course, that's not. Now you know you wrong. What you did like that? You can really go through the practical and see a lot of what I did that is incorrect according to the natural hair care practitioners module. I started out without first testing the hair. I started out with, and so what I would like for you to do, I made sure that we took our time. I was going to turn off the sound, but I decided not to because we was hanging out, and my model was really good, and she liked the hair after I was finished. This is our first hangout time together, but she knew we were making video. She knew she was a video model. She knew it. It was like anyway. And I think I had some pictures of the finished product. I don't know if I. Let me make sure I got the right phone. Yeah, I think that is the right phone. hmm So how y'all doing today? You doing okay? Good. So I laughed a lot. I made sure that I just had fun. I'm trying to find her pictures. Camera. Nope. Maybe that is the wrong one. Hold on. I have a work phone and a at home phone. Eh, Hmm. I'm trying to find. Oh, there she is. And I'm gonna see if I can. And what I basically did. Oh, you can kind of see it. What I basically did was gave her a twist out, and I set it to the part. You'll see what I'm talking about. She was literally posing. She was not playing. She was like, and the apple is fake, so you know she's posing. And okay, so what I did is I separated the hair. I didn't speed up the video or anything because I wanted to make sure that you notice that you know a whole lot from the module. Just by constantly going over the module, you know a lot. No practicals. You know, maybe I had a tool, but I when I started the video, I said before you get here with your gloves on, you should know. And there wasn't even a glove on neither hand. It was nice making that one. It was nice making that one. So I wanted you to catch a lot of the things I did wrong. And if you just act like you're an inspector. And if you don't see it, don't just assume because I talked about it that it's there. Okay. Don't assume that the hair is washed. Don't assume any of this. Just go according to the module. Go according to the module, what you've been taught, what you heard. Miss Janice, read from out of the module. That's if you have not received your own or printed out your own. I told you where to get it if you live in Oregon. And if you don't live in Oregon, they have a place for you to go if you live in like North Carolina, South Carolina. Each state, yes, I believe each state has its own cosmetology or natural hair care module. I stick with North Carolina because that was like the first one that I clicked on that had an updated version or was telling of how like a few months from now there you're going to have to do continued education units, 300 hours worth, whereas the cosmetology course is 1,600 hours or something like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I got in a lot of the incorrect stuff for you to go over, ponder with, so that when it's time to take the test, you be like, no, that's not right. No, you should, no, I know you need to know this. Oh, I did like that. And I wanted to also say tried my best to lay my hairs down before I came on. They were wet, and all I did basically is just took the hairs and did like this. A lot of them did not even do it. You can still see the puffiness of the lock. Some of them look like this right here. So I just wanted you to know that. Oh, here, look at this one. This one is the same. So the part that's like really puffy right here is, I told y'all, they're called loose locks for a reason. And then as you continually wet your hair or moist your hair and keep it moist and whatnot, I could not do this style with the rubber bands in, so I had to take the rubber bands out. And it was a quick style. I think it took about 30 minutes. Could have took a little longer, but I doubt it because I had to go to work today. So I did it while it was wet and just quickly twisted them. Just to do a little uh, um, to make sure that the oil was in, the oil stayed in, and it looked kind of cute. But like I said, it was real quick. Oh, so take a look at the practical, please. We're going to start going back over our module again. I have not started the GED, but this is what the GED looks like. It's called GED test, total solution for the GED test. This one is on the computer. Uh, the book itself costs $25, $24.95. I got it from Barnes and Nobles. It's online diagnostics tests, show you where to focus your study. Complete GED review for all 4 subjects, 100% aligned with the actual test. And so it's almost really saying this is the test, 100%, aligned with the actual test. 2 full practice exam, boost your test today, boost your test day confidence. And it's written by experts who know the GED test inside and out. That's why I got this one. And it says the GED is a trademark of the American Council on Education, ACE, and may not be used or reproduced without express written permission. The GED and GED Testing Service brands are administered by GED Testing Service, LLC, under license from ACE. ACE and GED Testing Service, LLC, have not approved, authorized, endorsed, been involved in the development of, or licensed the substantive content of this material. So it's a book and online. And that was another reason why, like I said, why I got it, because they had several, and they even had like flashcards. But you want to do it yourself. And you also want to start talking good. You want to start talking it, just like I was telling you how you want to start talking natural hair care practitioner. Well, I shortened it. I said just talk practitioner. And then I was telling you how my sister was doing my niece's hair, and then she said she had, and she gave it the name for dandruff, simply that regular dandruff, nothing, added. And then she was saying in the frontal lobe or in the like that occipital lobe, like it was really funny. And so anyway, I just wanted to make sure. And this is the second edition, and I believe it had year 2018. But this was another one. And if you go to www.rea.com, remember, even though I tell you where everything is, how much it costs, we want to hear your feedback. Complete the survey at Barnes and Noble or text BN to BN to 345 345. Your survey code is enter for a chance to win one of 20, one of $25, one of 20 $25 BNN gift cards drawn monthly. No purchase is necessary, and it ends April the 30th, 2019. Did you see me counting my fingers? Okay, and then must be legal resident of the 50 states US, including DC, and 21 plus. Void where prohibited. Visit www.barnesandnoble. And then you get a fall beverage. Our fall beverages are here. So in Barnes and Noble, they have a place for you to sit and look over like books and magazine, read the newspaper, type. And then they have a little coffee area. And it says visit the cafe between 9 to 2018 and 9/29 and save $2 off any one grande or venti VENTI handcrafted beverage. Pumpkin spice latte is back. Okay, I'm not gonna make that face. It probably tastes good. To redeem, present this coupon in the cafe. So they give you goodies, and here's the receipt. And so let me tell you what the back says. Your complete guide to success on the GED. Whether you want to land a better paying job or start college, the GED test will help you go there or get there. In fact, a high score gives you a shot at earning college credit when you earn your GED diploma. And when I wrote the young lady and I was explaining that whatever book she gets, I'm going to get whatever like that. At whatever test you take, I'm going to take, and because it's online, I want to do online along with this. But this had both. It has the book and online. And she said, you can't take your GED again. You can't, if you already have a diploma, you can't take a GED. And I was like, well, I knew that, right? Okay, so that's why you need REA's total solution for the GED test at your side. Created by an all-star team of GED and test prep experts. This self-paced comprehensive guide will help you succeed on today's GED test, no matter how long you've been away from school. It will help you succeed. Just like when I was doing the tutorials regarding the natural hair care practitioner exam. I wasn't even planning on taking it. I was just going to be a tutor. But then I wanted to let everyone know that when you read through it, open mouthed, meaning you can hear yourself, you begin to get confidence because you're putting this, and we're calling it GED, where you're putting GED in the atmosphere that you're in. You're putting it in your environment. You're putting it out there so that you can begin to speak into that. You're putting the power within yourself to stand up and say, I want to go back to school, but I want to go to this college. And that's what I told the young lady that asked me to tutor the GED. You only have to be one person to get me to tutor because I'll do it anyway. This is what I do. I'm a word reader. So what she said made sense. And so when she made sense, because she, of course, is not the only one that wants to get their GED, but she also wants to go to college. And I was telling her also that there's a GED community online, and it's $99. That's the cheapest that I can find. And they also have 100% success rate. And that's what I'm going to do. Every time I tutor something and someone goes and takes the test, I'm going to give it an average. If I have 100% average, I'm going to be totally happy because it's not, but it's nice to know that what I'm tutoring is successful, the way I'm successful. is successful. The way I'm tutoring is successful. And you want to be a part of that. And I want you to be a part of that. So if you had not logged in, and there is one thing I need to let you know that I was looking at my analyticals and it said I had over 60 views during the course of the 3 weeks that I was doing the natural licensed natural hair care practitioner. See, now I'm getting closer, and I keep telling myself that I need to sit back and relax. But I get so excited when I teach, when I tutor, that I get closer to the camera as if I'm going to go through it, I guess. Anyway, let me get comfortable. Hold on. There. Now I have to sit back because now it'll take off half of my head if I if I keep leaning forward. So anyway, there are a lot of GED books out there, GED. There are a lot of GED books out there, but this is the one that I've chosen because out of all of them, the I read somewhere that it's in the back here. It says whether no, that's why you need RIA's total solution for the GED test at your side. Created by an all-star team of GED and test prep experts, this self-paced comprehensive guide will help you succeed on today's GED test, no matter how long you've been away from school. And I like that part because some of us have been away from school for a while. So not only am I going to be reviewing what high schoolers know, but I, as a tutor, and someone comes on who wants to tutor high school, wants to be tutored in high school math or college math or like that, I will at least be able to give them a head start. And the other thing says online diagnostic tests. Now I know that I can take the test. That's how come I'm telling you about this book, because this book will also like be a catch-up course for me. It will be a reminder, young lady, you need to go over this. You need to stay in this area. You need to. So while I am going through this, um, let's see what we're going to call it. While I'm going through this guide to guide you at how to become a successful, not only test taker, because you got to squish down a lot of the negative stuff that goes on in your mind regarding taking tests. That's why I took that test. That's why I took and got my license to be a licensed natural hair care practitioner. I i noticed that the camera gets dark the closer I bring it, and then the clearer the picture gets. So I like that. I just noticed that like a few days ago. Okay, let me get back to work. It says book and online diagnostics tests, one for each test subject. Pinpoint where you're strongest and where you find to focus, or where you need to focus your study so you can personalize your prep. Comprehensive reviews for all four GED test subjects: reasoning through language arts, mathematical reasoning, science, and social studies. And it's not just like we're going to be in math. We're going to start with reading, of course, because you need to learn how to read everything. But say, for example, we're doing math, and it tells you to get the answer to this scientific equation. So one of the things that I can promise is that if you miss something, if you missed a step, because the my favorite one is algebra. My favorite um, story that I like to tell is regarding algebra. Once people begin to start hearing algebra, go, oh no, algebra, you just hear it like that. You never hear, oh, I like algebra. You hardly ever hear anyone say that they like algebra, or anyone ever say that how excited they are about fractions. You don't know how to do fractions? Oh, fractions are so easy. Well, they are, and I'm saying it because they are to me. But when you hear fraction, like, oh no. So what I do is I teach second, third, fourth. You're not even supposed to be in algebra yet. I was teaching my nephew, who was supposed to have been in kindergarten, how to do algebra. how to do multiplication, how to do fractions, etc. Once you begin to teach it, that's the first thing you squash, is the fact that you always hear people say that algebra is hard or fractions or, you always hear that. So what I usually do is I usually teach or start off math with sight math and a piece of paper. Once I get that piece of paper, I start, what is this? It's the same technique every time. And it's a piece of paper. No, it's $1. Once you start talking money, they try to figure it out. That's not $1. That's a piece of paper, Miss Janice. How come you? Because it is. And we get started. And if you fold $1 in half, what is it? It's a half a dollar. Well, how much is a half a dollar? And there's always someone that says a half a dollar and 50 cents. There has never yet not been a person in the class, no matter what age, be it 5 to 13 or 5 to 15. There's somebody, and then I start. That's how come you're not in algebra yet. And they be listening like, how come I'm not an algebra? Yeah, because you don't know the symbols. You got to know symbols. If you don't know symbols, and it reminds me of how Jesus began to talk to Nicodemus when Nicodemus came to him by night. It had nothing to do with Nicodemus talking. Nicodemus asked a question, and Jesus said, in order to get to heaven, you must be born again. Nicodemus was like, born again? Like, what did that have to do with what I was asking? That's how I do math. And no one reads math out loud. So we always start out loud with math and that white piece of paper. And then we fold it in half, and then we open it up and we turn it this way, and we start talking about division. Because the line going from the left to right, which is horizontal, is division. That's what it means for division when you're doing fractions. Anyway, I didn't want to tell y'all that, but just to let you know that math, reading, and writing always go together. And sight math is one of the most amazing things you can do because it makes you use your brain. And that's what a lot of people say they don't have. I mean, they don't say they don't have a brain. They say they don't have the ability to comprehend what's being said. And math is a bunch of rules. Reading is a bunch of rules. Writing is a bunch of rules. And I just teach you the easiest way to get it. If you were looking at my video a couple of days ago, I came on with my board. It had the A, the B, the K, the D, the E, G, H, J, I, L, like that. It had all the sounds. And then I said, that's the sounds, but I said in order to write the letters in English or Spanish, you have to know how to write a capital I, a lowercase I, a capital O, lowercase o. And you know how to write every letter and every number in the English. And then we went over a couple. If you want to make a capital B, you have to learn how to write the capital I and the lowercase O's. If you want to make a capital C, you got to learn how to make a capital O. If you want to make a lowercase c, lowercase, lowercase o, etc. Okay, so let's get back to work. I heard a ding. I don't know what it meant. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's my phone. Okay, so we want you to go over the practical regarding, because in that practical is basically some of the things that's on the test, and then we'll go over, and I will try to do another practical with use. Oh, let me give you another hint. You saw all of my utensils. Excuse me, they're not called utensils; they're called tools. You saw all of my tools laid out on the table. So if I had another client, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to, like that. That's what helps you to remember. When you see what I did in that practice, you'll be like, oh no, she didn't put all her tools out. She got the brushes together, the combs together. She's using all the different ones on this one head. I didn't see how she's going to clean them. She didn't talk about cleaning them. As a matter of fact, where are her gloves and where's a covering for the person that she's supposed to be working on? And where is just start asking questions. Seriously, just ask questions like that. Okay. That's a very big hint. Just ask them and ask them out loud. Okay, let's get back to work. It says book and online diagnosis test. One for each test subject. Pinpoint where you're strongest and where you need to focus your study, so you can personalize your prep, meaning preparation, how you're going to study for the test. That's where Miss Janice comes in. Because if you're with me and you're texting in the column, and I was telling you how it said that people are writing or texting. I only saw two people writing and 60 visitors while I was doing the tutorial for becoming a licensed natural hair care practitioner. Okay, comprehensive reviews for all four GED test subjects: reasoning through language arts, mathematical reasoning, science, and social studies. Proven strategies for tackling the toughest math problems, plus expert advice on writing a top scoring extended response essay. And that's what you want to do when you do or go over the practical. You want to write down, if you're not allowed or able to write down here, you want a notepad so that the next time I come on, you can actually go, oh yeah, she didn't do this. Why, and ask questions regarding, why you didn't say this part of the head, why occipital, why you didn't say the frontal, why did and then when you ask questions, see, you're saying, or you're, if you have the module on hand, you're looking through the module, you want the module, and you can get the module online at www.healthoregon, those are two that no space, .org/HLO. Remember, in the module it says Health Licensing Agency, and then later on it says Health Licensing Office, HLO. That's why I was telling you when I called, the lady says, I says, this is health. No, she said, no, I said Health Licensing Agency because that's the way it's written in the module. And she said Health Licensing Office. And that's one of the ways I remember because I got corrected. Okay. And once you go there, you just type in natural hair care. I know it's not 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It can't be. Hold on. That was a yawn I just hid. It's showing it, but I don't have my glasses on, so I had to look on my phone. I just put that a little closer. Oh, 8:33. Yeah. Anyway, it says two full-length practice tests, balanced to include every type of question you can expect on the actual GED test, so you'll be confident and prepared on test day. And the reason I need, or you need to know what that consists of, because if you get this book, if you get this guide, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm liking the lighting today. It says, welcome to the RIA Study Center for the GED test. I'm showing you what it says, and then I'm going to turn around and read it, okay? It says, our book and exclusive online tools pinpoint where you're strongest and where you need to focus so you can raise your score. So what they're really saying is that you're going to be confident when you take. Already talking about raising your score. That's what I'm saying to you. That once you start putting the get in the atmosphere, so what? I mean, you want people to be excited that you are taking your GED test. You want people to be excited about it. So call it GED. So people go, what's GED? Your GED test. They be like, you what, for real? And you're gonna find there's so many people that are going to be so proud of you that they're going to be asking, how's your studying coming along? How's it going? Because you're confident. You're going to become confident in the fact that you are furthering you. You're furthering you. You're proud or excited about going through with taking your test. And you can explain to them, I'm kind of nervous about taking the test, but this book and my tutor, mzjanis, is really keeping me pumped up. We're not down here anymore. We're excited about taking the test. It's like I have a coach, a personal coach, somebody that's right there pushing me, telling me to read math out loud. I never even heard anyone say read math out loud. I mean, who reads math out loud? Who reads out loud? Especially at my age. And the reason you're told or asked to read out loud is because that's what I heard. Little one, as you're tutoring, teach them to read math out loud, and it makes more sense. Because see, when you're looking at math, and what makes it some kind of way hard is the fact that you're thinking decimal, you're thinking symbols, you're thinking decimals or 8.7 instead of thinking cents, $8.70. $8.70. Wow, that's like percent. So words begin to go together. If it has a point and then two numbers, that looks like $8.07. So if you anyway, I know, hallelujah, I know for a fact that you're going to do well. You're just going to do well. One of the reasons you're going to do well is because of the way you're going to be taught to look at this. You're going to be taught to look at it, and not as I got to write this down, but as rules, so that you can remember the rules. In order to do algebra, you have to remember parentheses first. So please, multiplication second, my, division third, dear, adding, next, aunt, subtraction, Sally. So there's everything that you learn first, and then you put it together. Please, my dear Aunt Sally. But in algebra, you put that together. If it's something in the parentheses, then you also know about division, right? And I already told you that anytime you do fractions, you're dividing. For example, how many times does 7 go into 13? Right? Okay, so you go 7 into 13 is one time. 1 times 7 is 7. 7 take it from 13, what leaves what? 6. How many times does 7 go into 6? It won't. So you have to add a 0. Where does the 0 come from? It's just there. That's just the rule of dividing. So 7 goes in the 60. So you go 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 9 is, you see what I'm saying? So what happens is you have to remember how to multiply. And you're not going to be wanting to write all this down. You're going to remember it. How many times is 7 times what equals the closest to 60? So 7 times 6 is I just said it, 42. 7 times, but you're going to be up. And then that right there is comprehension. You understand that when you divide, you got to sometimes multiply. Then if you have something over, you go 7 times 8 is 56. Okay, if 7 times 8 is 56, how many is left over if you have to use your fingers? So what? 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So you're going to have a remainder of 4. How do you write 4? 1/4. And what is 1/4 of a dollar? It means there's, you got to remember. See, it's up here. Once you start thinking about it, if you go to the store, take your money, and it costs 1/4 of a dollar, that means it's 25 cents. So 1/4 is also equal to 25 cents. And then, so now you're starting to talk money. That same white piece of paper, if you fold it in half again, it's 1/4. You got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, four quarters. Four quarters equal one piece of paper, which is $1. The dollar is that piece of paper, like that. So everything begins to go together. And I'm just saying that because it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's how come it becomes easy to teach algebra, because you got to remember that you're going to be multiplying, you got to remember that you're going to be dividing, you got to remember that you're going to be adding, you got to remember you're going to be subtracting. And anytime you remember that, even in division there is subtracting, there's adding, even in adding there is multiplying, because you don't want to go 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 equals 16. You want to remember 4 times 4 is 16. You want to learn how to do stuff quick, but you got to remember it. You have to remember it. That's averaging. And you have 500 students a day. That means no, and you only have class 3 days a week. How many students came to school this week? And so you got to go, you're not going to go 500 and 500 and 500 equals 1500. You're going to be like 3 times 5 is 15, and then you just put the two zeros, because 0 times 0 is always 0. 0 plus 0 is always 0. I mean, stuff starts coming back, but you revert back to the easy part first, and then you start going over the hard part. Okay, so let's get back to work. I'm reading. I don't think I got finished all of these. Hold on one more sec. It says meet our GED, which is GED author experts. Okay, so besides Miss Janice, I'm not on here. No, I'm just teasing. It says Stacy Kiggins. She has an MS, and Stacy is an award-winning, nationally recognized English educator. Okay, and before we go there, we're going to see. This is the second edition. So this is copywritten in 2017. But the prior edition was copywritten in 2014. So they updated it. GED Extended Response Guidelines, the taxation and revenue, stimulus, and associated essay samples, annotations, and scoring rubrics, RUBRICS, are used with the permission of GED Testing Service LLC and our copyright 2015 GED Testing Service LLC. All rights reserved. GED and GED Testing Services, and they have little R's or little C's in the circle. That means they're registered or copywritten. See, are registered trademarks of the American Council on Education, and again, that's ACE. They may not be used or reproduced without the express written permission of ACE or GED Testing Services. The GED and GED Testing Service brands are administered by GED Testing Service LLC under license from the American Council of Education. Very good, ACE. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I continue to tell you that you want to get the book, because basically what you and I are doing are reading the book together. Okay, we're going over the book together with the book, and there's no way that I can give you the test questions, because in order for you to get as advanced as they want you to get, you have to get the book. It's just that we have the same book, and it says to get your online tools at the REA Study Center, visit http colon / studycenter.rea.com. Follow the on-screen instructions, enter the access code below for your 4 diagnostic tests, one for each test subject. Okay, so, and then it's right here. So there's no need for you to go, oh, she's going to give me. It don't work like that. I want you to pass, and you're going to pass if you follow through. Like I was tutoring. As I'm tutoring, I am learning also to become a better tutor. And I read somewhere that one of these or few of these are tutors themselves. Let's see, is it Stephen? Stephen has had a hand in producing over 40 test preps and has been tutoring GED candidates since 1988. That's why I got the book, because of those words right there. The one of the people that wrote this book has been tutoring GED participants, or what do they call candidates, since 1988. I've been tutoring since 1981, but I have not been tutoring grown-ups. I've been tutoring reading, writing, and math since 1981, but I usually do that with children. Recently, I tutor adults. Recently, like they used to have Google Hangouts. They don't have that anymore. So I had to find another venue to tutor. So I usually do Facebook, period. But I started Miss Janice on Loxler's Embassy because I wanted to basically gear it to people who want to learn from Miss Janice. And I want to teach, tutor, be in front of, etc. And I just wanted a venue. And I told you why did lobsters, because I started doing my natural hair last year. I was bald on the top, and now I have hair and silver hair. And I wanted to keep up with the not combing, because that's what helps my hair to grow. Not combing it, but playing in it, yes, but not combing it. Not, I did comb my locks, I did brush them, but I probably won't even be doing that because I wanted the loose lock look, and it's been working so far. The hair is growing in faster. Um, this right here, oh, sorry, wrong one. Oop, I think it might have been that one. Yeah, this was gone. This was gone. Yeah, those are my edges. So these are probably going to be my wrong one. These are probably going to be my skinniest locks right here. Um, no hair was hair, because what I was perm when I would perm my hair one year, it was burning, and I took the towel and went, and it was gone. So that's coming back in. This one was already here. It's all fat and cute and looking all cute. What else? Top. I had just one plait, like right in the middle, so it's like no round, none around here. I think that's about it, if I'm not mistaken. With Y'all have to follow my journey. So it's Miss Janice O. That's who I am. Miss Janice O on Facebook. Miss Janice O, or Miss Janice on Facebook. mzjanis. But I just wanted to tutor and talk to people and have a venue for when I want to talk about my hair. Okay. It says scratch here to reveal your access code. This access code may only be used by the original purchaser. So that's why I want you to get this book, because Lori Callahan is a PhD. Um, Stephen, it has a PH in there. It has an MBA, and Stacy has a master, an MS. Lori Colligan is the PhD. Lori is a veteran science author, educator, curriculum consultant, and researcher. And then Lisa Mullins has an MA. Lisa has over 15 years experience preparing adult ed students for success on the GED test. And look at, you see how nice and thick this book is? So it depends on how fast you want Miss Janice to go. If you want me to go faster, then you're going to have to write down some stuff. You're going to have to, you know, text me at my text number 505-695-2647. because I like going over my books. I like reading from page to, I mean, from cover to cover and page to page. Well, if you were with me with my tutorial on this venue here or this platform, you know I really like reading. I'm the word reader. We read the contents, the the introduction. We read the back page, the front page, because you don't want to miss anything. I mean, you don't have to remember everything, but you don't want to miss anything. Like the book says, I can't copy this. I can't basically share it. I can't base so that's why I'm telling you get your own so we can read together. Total different at venue. Total different. Research and education. It tells where it is. It's in New Jersey. It's 61 Ethel Road West, Piscataway, New Jersey, 08854. And then it's their email info at rea.com. RIA's total solution for the GED test, second edition. It's copywritten, I told you already, in 2017 by Research and Education Association Incorporated. Prior edition was copywritten in 2014 by Research and Education Association Incorporated. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced in any form without permission of the publisher. This reminds me of when uh, you buy something new like a chair or bed or uh, like furniture mainly, and it says under the law you cannot remove this unless you're going to, you're going to be like taken to jail or whatever it says, something scary like that. And there was this commercial years ago. I don't know if it's still out now, but years ago there was this commercial when the guy, he was sitting in the chair and he kept fidgeting and you kept hearing of that paper, and he just took the paper out and it just, I mean, just ripped it. And as soon as he got to the last and had the paper up like this, the SWAT team came in, cars, sirens, ambulance, fire department. They broke through the window. They had the guns out just because he tore the paper. Anyway, you don't want that to happen to Miss Janice, right? So get the book. Get the book. Ria's Total Solution for the GED Test, second edition. Total Solution for the GED Test, second edition. Content GED testing service aligned. And I like this. I love it. I love it. I love it. She's like got her hands up in victory already. Like victory. We did it. We did it. Okay, Texas Instrument has granted RIA permission to use an image of the TI-30XS multi-view scientific calculator. The limit of liability disclaimer or warranty. Publication of this work is for the purpose of test preparation and related use and subject to set forth herein. While every effort has been made to achieve a work of high quality, neither Research and Education Association Incorporated nor the authors and other contributors of this work guarantee the accuracy of completeness of or assume any liability in connection with the information and opinions contained herein and in RIA's software and or online materials. RIA and the authors and other contributors shall in no event be liable for any personal injury, property, or other damages, for any personal injury, property, or other damages of any nature whatsoever, whether special, indirect, consequential, or compensatory, directly or indirectly resulting from the publication's use of or reliance upon this work. All trademarks cited in this publication are the property of their respective owners. Cover image is copywritten by istockphoto.com/JUNIL. That's what they're talking about. Okay. It says your access code may only be redeemed once. If you are not the original purchaser of this book, go to www.ria.com to purchase the online exam package. So there is another alternative, but the reason you want the book is because just like I tell people when I'm tutoring them from the Bible, you want your own Bible so that it can be your workbook. You want to underline something, you go, oh, I didn't know that was the way that you said in Spanish, and then you want to underline. I remember when I was teaching myself Spanish and I was listening and it kept saying la ley, la ley, la ley, la ley. What does that mean? Or is it lay la lay la? I believe it was Layla. And and I had to go. I had to figure out what that meant. Excuse me. And I always tutor myself from the Bible, Spanish. I tutor myself in Spanish from Spanish books, but I mainly tutor myself from the Bible because in the Bible it has the words in the biblical English and in the biblical Spanish. And I like it because a lot of it is the way I like to talk anyway. I like talking Bible. I really do. I love talking scriptures, remembering scriptures, studying scripture, comprehending, hearing what Father says regarding the scripture and the person who's standing in front of me, etc. So the next time we come to this book, we're going to read the forward. And the only reason why I'm leaving right now is because it's time to go. So we already read the first and second page. We told you who the people are. We talked about the Research Education Association, which is www.rea.com, REA. So you want to go there, just in case Miss Janice asks you, did you at least look, like if you don't have the book, did you at least look? And email me that you are here. Because again, it's not saying that you're here, and I'm most sure somebody is, because I do have one person that I tutor that's not online, that's not, like you can't see them. Um and we would meet normally. Anyway, so like I said, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if I did something. I hope I didn't. Why is my hair sticking out like that? I told you it won't stay laid down. I like bothering in it. That's probably how it comes up. But nope, it's not saying. And this, like I said, this venue right here is totally new. Like if I go on Facebook, I have viewers. If I go, if I go on YouTube, not YouTube, but Twitter, I have viewers. Periscope, I have viewers. But I want this Facebook Live. Yes, Lobster's Embassy. There's people that come on, but I want this to be specifically. I even have homework ministry, but I want this to be specifically the requested venue because I want to give out my number so you can text me. There's times and you're going to ask questions regarding what we went over or what we're going over. And you can do that. You can do that with Lobster's Embassy. I constantly give you my text number, which is 505-695-2647. And you can text me with that at that number 24 hours a day, and you can call me. But this is what it sounds like. I'm going to then because you can't really hear it because it's a Google number. Everyone can get a free Google number if you ask for one. You don't have to be old or young. You just go to google.com, www.google.com, and then in that search engine you put how do I get my own personal Google number. Because remember, they used to have Google Hangouts, live Google Hangouts, but they hardly have it anymore. Now you have to know a person's number. They have to know your number. They used to have it so you could everybody's picture that was on. I mean, their camera was personally. You can see the picture waving. Hey, everybody there, how y'all doing? And I don't think they have it like that anymore. So now it's more like YouTube. You know, you can text. They do have. I, I I can try and look and see, but nope. I'm doing it here. Okay, now look at this one. I'm going to read it a little more because I want to get finished at least with this reading part here. I was going to leave early because I kept yawning. In case you was wondering. Okay, forward. Congratulations in purchasing this real book and online prep. You have taken the first step towards earning your GED credential. Completing your high school education will open doors to many career and opportunities. And the one reason why I really like reading this is because getting your GED helps break a lot of the negative stamina or the negative words or the negative, because when your stamina is negative, it's more like, I don't have my GED. People don't even know. There's nothing written on your forehead that says you don't have your high school diploma or you don't have your GED. Listen, people look at you in such a different way than what you look at yourself. You're the one that, oh man, I don't have this, I don't have that. But there's millions of people who don't have their high school diploma. Millions. I mean, go online, Google it. How many people don't have their high school diploma? That's why right now they have so many prep pro, pro so many encouraging strategic ways to get you to stay in school to get your high school education. I know one of the ways in Portland, Oregon, is they give you a picture bus pass for the whole year, just so you can go to school. So you won't be able to say, I don't have transportation, I don't have a way, even if you take the school bus. Okay, so it says completing your high school education will open doors to many career and educational opportunities. A recent report from the U.S. Office of Vocational and Educational Adult Education described the GED or GED test as the only high school equivalency exam strongly aligned with the new adult education voluntary college and career readiness standards. And you hear that? That means that once you take your GED and you pass, you are already ready. You're already ready. You are ready for college math, college English, college. You're all ready. It says career readiness standards. These standards will help prepare more adult learners for the college courses needed to qualify for most jobs. Now, listen to this. I just said that because that's what it meant. And then it said the same thing. We're reading this book together. It's not like I went ahead of you and read the book. You can tell I didn't because look. Oops, wrong page. I forgot I read that page too. You want to know the ISBN number? So that if you wanted to go to the library, you can get this. It is ISBN dash 13 colon 978 dash 0 dash 7386 dash 1217 dash 1. And to me, I wish that I can pay everyone or buy this book for everyone. But I'm most sure if you go to REA, like I'm telling you, online, REA, they will be able to help. They might even have like discounts. So check it out, okay? It says a tough test. Okay? It says the GED, GED, they're used to saying GED, okay? Test is not easy. I know this because I have more than 20 years experience as a teacher and administrator helping adults to prepare for the test. This rear prep will serve as a beacon as you work toward achieving your goal. It's your goal. See, it's not mine. It's yours. What I'm doing is what this book is doing is helping you to achieve your goal. Say, for example, you decided, see the numbers move. Say, for example, you decided that, I like being a mechanic. I like being a mechanic and I want to be able to receive a higher level in this field of work. What can I do? Because this is what I had planned. I had planned to go over this test like basically for the rest of my life, so that I can help people to get ready for not only how to teach math, because and not only how to teach how to read, because not only how to teach how to write, because this is what people want. People want help in doing this. I figured if an adult came to me and asked to go over or to help them to pass their GED because they like the way I tutor every other subject. See, at my church, I am a tutor. I tutor to read, write, to do math, and character building for kids at school, right? So if a child decides to drop out, it's not because they're not being tutored. If a child decides that they're not going to study their lesson or do their homework, they're not getting F's because Miss Janice, they go to the same church as Miss Janice. They're getting F's because they are not doing what they're supposed to do. Simple. I mean, if you have a free lab at your church, a free tutoring lab at your church, and you still getting F's, it's not Miss Janice's fault. That's the same thing with this book and with any other thing that I tutor. With Spanish, we go from cover to cover, not just once, not just twice, but as long as I want to learn Spanish, as long as I want to learn sign language, as long as I want to continue to keep my head in math, social studies, science, etc., as long as I want to remember what I'm teaching, tutoring, as long as I want to get better at conversationing, there's no such word. Hey, I just made up a word. At conversating or conversing with others, there should be no reason why a person is not doing well in what they want to do. None. There's none. There's no reason. Especially if you know Miss Janice and you know she tutors, there's no reason why you cannot get an A in everything. No reason. Sorry. Okay. The test prep is strictly aligned, and I skipped a part. This rear prep will serve as a beacon as you work toward achieving your goal. RIA's authors are experienced educators and know the expectations of the GED test, the GED test. This prep test, or this test prep, is strictly aligned to the information, subjects, and types of questions that you will see on the GED test. Still, no matter how good the study guide is, the burden of being successful is on you. And one of the nice things that I've learned as a tutor is that when you have an audience to tutor in whatever area or subject the person is interested in, is more like on the job training, getting the experience doing it, uh, and the ease of remembering it. See, because if you do practicals, you'll remember. And I did a practical natural hair care um, practitioner practical. Seriously, take a look at it. I didn't cut it. I didn't make it go faster or anything. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. Because I just want you to see what it's like to go through a hairstyle at a new in your house, um I guess the studio facility. If you want to have a facility in your house, you know, How many doors did you have? Oh yeah, she did have a door because remember the lady came in. See, you'll remember stuff. You will remember. Oh, she did the floor because when it first started, I got to see the way the floor looked. I'm serious. It's a nice practical. It's covered a whole lot of do's and don'ts. Okay? And that's basically what this is. We're going to go through this book together. It says making the commitment. There is no standard time frame that works for everyone looking to complete the GED or the GAD test. Some will take a few weeks, some a few months, and yes, some a year or more. It depends on you, your ability, and how committed you are to this goal. And that's how come I said when you get this book, this one right here, right? And you text Miss Janice at 505-695-2647. There are going to be some days that I'm going to be going over the test early in the morning. Not I'm going to be going over the book, going through the book early in the morning. There are going to be some days late at night. There are going to be some, see, there's no limit. So what you do is you subscribe. After you subscribe, you hit the notification button. After you do the notification button, you'll know when I'm on. Ding! Or whatever sound your notification makes. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. But it's a communication. And then it's a push, Oh, so you took a pretest? Do you need questions or help? You'll be talking to me. You will literally be texting, typing. I'm here. What are you going over right now? And reason I said reading is because that was the suggested um oh practice test one. Hold on. Let me see what it says. Multiply the two radicals. The sign, it looks like a fancy, I would show you, but I'm trying to draw it. It says 8 that, and then it has an 18 in it, plus another one with a 10 in it equals, and then it's the sign again, and then it says 180. Right? It says find the prime number, the prime factorization of 180. And then it says 180 equals, and it's still in that radical sign. It looks like a greater than with a line. Oops, sorry. I'm like all the way out there. It looks like a greater than with a line like that. No, not a. Why did I say a greater than? It doesn't even look like a greater than. It looks like a check mark with a line like that. It really does. You'll see. Watch when I decide to show it to you. Okay, and then it says 180 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 equals 2 to the second power times 3 to the second power times 5. So that means 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 times 3, which is 9, times 5. And it said it again, but they just wrote it shorter. And it said extract the perfect squares from under the radical. So now they have a one radical and it has 2 squared. Then it has a 3 squared, another radical by itself. And then it has a radical with a 5 in it, which is basically not a square. And then they backwards it. They put the 2 in the parentheses. They put the 3 in the parentheses. And then they made a radical with a 5 in it equals 6 radical 5. Okay? So they did all of that just so when you go to the question itself, of course, it's going to show you how to do it. But if it doesn't, that's where Miss Janice comes in. Miss Janice teaches you how to do radical prime numbers, blah blah blah. What is it called? Averaging, lowest common denominator. Because they'll say that, they'll say the words, and you be like I was saying radical, and then I was doing it in the air to show you the sign, the symbol. That's how I teach kids. Like that's how come we're not even doing multiplication or math or anything like that. But I always throw that in there. That's how come we're not doing algebra yet, because you don't know the symbols. You don't know the symbols. And then we start teaching reading, and then I'll say this right here is a period when you're reading, but if you see this in math, it's called times. Instead of saying 3 with an X times 3 equals 9, it'll put 3 dot, which means times 3 equals 9. And that's where we start. And then we'll do something else, and out of the clear blue, see, that's how come we're not at fractions yet. Making them want to do fractions. Okay, developing a strategy. Oh, wait, I skipped something. Hold on. It depends on you, your ability, and how committed you are to this goal. If you do not have a minimum of 4 hours a week that you can devote to studying, I suggest you wait until your schedule is less busy before you prepare for the test. The time that you commit to studying should be constant, or the same time and day and or night every week. Develop a regular study routine and make sure you will not have any interruptions. Okay, and that's, remember how we did the module. It was, I was on all the time. But what I did was I pre-recorded so that when you came on, you knew that every day I would talk, but before I would talk, I would read 7 pages because it was 147 pages. And then when I would get to the 145th page, it said congratulations, you know. But before I would really try to just read. Well, because I found out that that was helpful even to me, because I did like mini practical, not MANY, but MINI, mini practicals. I would whip out a tool, or I would or I would do my hair if it was talking about protective styles, or it would just talk about locking or twist out or whatever. I would try to do my hair that way, um, or talk about it, because I decided to twist it today because it was wet, and I just really wanted to see how long it is. So it's growing. But the thing is, when I started, it was so much longer. It was like long, like for real. And then I left it. I did the loose locking. I let it loose lock for about, I know for a fact, all of, let's see, so May, June, July, August, September. And I came online the end of August to September. So I know I didn't do anything but what y'all saw. Okay, let's get back to work. Developing a strategy. Many people get the GED test on module or section, one module or section at a time. And that's basically how we started with doing modules. We started with the module of, and I don't know if I'm going to do like a month at a time. I don't know. It probably would be best if I did a month. Hold on just a sec. About the GED reasoning through language arts test. That does the introduction. When should the GED test be taken? If you're currently enrolled in an adult education course, your teacher or advisor will give you feedback on when he or she thinks you're ready to take the test. If you're studying on your own, one of the best things you can do is to get the ball rolling, is to take a practice test and go from there. See our suggested study schedule on page 13. When you feel confident about your abilities and are ready to take the actual exam, go for it. Even the very nature of the GED test, there's really no best time to take it. Now y'all see why I read everything because it's helpful. It is so helpful because you can be thinking one way, and then just by reading like something like that, you can be like, oh, so I should take a practice test first. And yes, that's why I'm suggesting that you get this book. Because if you take the practice test, you don't necessarily have to write the answers down in ink. You can write them down on a separate piece of paper, etc., to know what your weakest points are. Once you know what your weakest points are, you can develop the or strengthen the weakest muscle of your test. And then as you continually or slowly add in something new, you already know one part, you're strengthening the part that you're weak in, and then you're slowly adding something new. And that's one of the things that I did when we were tutoring the natural hair care module. We continually went over the same thing, but we continually said things like, "Now you, this is before the test. Now you know that's going to be on the test because look, this is in bold, it's like underlined, it's standing out. They have it in parentheses. I mean, so you know this is going to be on the test." And I would say that several times throughout the tutorial. That when it came to doing the next time around, then I would give a practical example. Then the next time around, I would like just read it and probably pause so that you can answer it like that. And so that's what I am here for. I am your tutor, your tutor. Miss Janice is my name. Invite somebody, like I said, like, subscribe, and if you're subscribed and I'm not talking back to you, I told you there's something wrong with the the analyticals because it said I had 60 something views for so many like altogether so many hours, and analyticals are not supposed to do that. That's like your graph as to how well you're doing. Okay, so many people get the GED test, take the GE test one module or section at a time. Which module you take first is entirely up to you. However, since all sections of the GED test require good reading skills, you may want to start with the reasoning through language arts section of this book. Pay extra attention to lessons addressing reading skills such as how to ferret out the main idea, supporting details, inference, the writer's point of view, sequencing, drawing conclusions, and summarizing. You will be asked to apply these skills not only in the language arts section of the test, but also in the social studies, science, and in some part of the mathematical reasoning test. And I'll probably let me developing a strategy. And the reason I'm doing that is because I know that this was inside this book because I had read several of them, and it suggested that you take the reading, you do the reading section, and I didn't know that it was in this book. I just know that one of these GED prep books that I read, um, one of them said that one of the persons that helped write the book was a GED tutor. Another one said, it just said all different stuff that intrigued me. But now I found two of the suggestions that made me get the book because I know I didn't go through this book. But it said that reading is the most important, and I thought it was in one of the other ones. But because it helps out a whole lot to know how to read and to develop your skills. And three parts of this automatically develop your reading skills. But I'm pointing this out is because it says you may want to start with the reasoning through language arts. So you want to write that down. And I told you, you want your book to be your study book section of this book. Pay extra attention to lessons addressing reading skills, such as how to ferret out the main idea. And to me, that's what this is doing for me. It's teaching me what to ferret out so that I can make sure that you're like, heads up, you guys. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. You're gonna have to know this. You're gonna have to read this. You're gonna have to remember this. And it says the same thing that I teach kids. When I teach children, I always say, if you listen, you'll learn. And if you learn it, that means you can tell somebody. And once you tell somebody, that tells you that you know it. Because remember when I said, and they're like, yeah. It's like you can recollect. I remember I was teaching a young lady, and I just went online and I got just a math question. It was a scientific math problem. And I was teaching her about how to how to remember how that's basically what I was doing, how to remember. Because a lot of times we miss a step when we're doing math. Anyway, so I was teaching how to remember. So I said, you know how much 3 yards are, right? And she was like, well, and I said, well, 12 inches is 1 yard. And 1 yard is like a ruler. And so that's 12 inches. And if you have three of them, it's about that long. And in school it's 36 inches because 3 times 12 is 36. So it's 36 inches. And then once you get to the 36 inches, you can remember that that's a yardstick. Because a ruler is a little one and a yardstick. And then as I said it like about the second or the third time, she said, as you were saying that, I remember my teacher walking around with that long yardstick. And I was like, that's what I mean. See, once you get a tutor, something is said to trigger what you already know. And she's like, oh, it was really nice to know that she was literally getting it. There was no writing it down. There was no, right? But once you are older and you begin to write stuff down or take notes, it's almost like a sticky note. Like if you write something down, reading skills, main idea, and just touch your head or touch your fingers together. You literally remember. Now, why did I touch my finger together? Oh, the main idea, the main idea, the main idea. Or if you touch your head, the main idea, the main idea. Anyway, you'll see. Another way that I teach a person to study is to listen for a certain not study but remember, is to listen for a certain letter sound. Like you listen for the sound, like read, like you're listening. You're listening to every word that is being said at the speed that is being said. But when you hear the sound, something triggers. So you write You don't write the word you heard or nothing like that. You write You write an R. Excuse me. You write You write an R, and you keep doing that as you're listening. One day you want to do the D sound. You just continually listen until they say the D sound. Once you hear the D sound, you just write it real fast. You don't even have to look. And if you look at a person's mouth when they're speaking, you can remember and hear better. Look at a person's mouth when they're speaking. It sort of reminds you when you're little and your parents said, did you hear what I said? Okay, what did I say? They're looking right. What did I say? It's sort of like that, but you're taking it to another level. You're taking what you know already to another level. And so while I was writing reading skills main idea, it says pay extra attention to lessons addressing reading skills such as how to ferret out the main idea. And I just told you different ways to ferret out something. One of them is to listen for a certain letter. And then what happens is you'll notice that a person repeats themselves or say, or they'll do something with their hands a lot. And it'll make you remember that person standing or sitting before you. That's why one of the reasons, well, I like to do sign language too, but one of the reasons I talk with my hands, I'm sure, is because when I look at people that talk with their hands, they doing different signs all the time. They'll notice, I'll notice that, it's very hard to understand. And this is a sign for time. So I just don't know. And this is the sign for like dear, love, compassion, those type of signs. Um, like my mother, I love my mother, and I do it too. But one thing she does is she's always does this to her, and I noticed she did it when we used to have what are those things called, shoulder pads. She would always be fixing them. Now she does it, and it's just, to me it's just, just, I don't know what that's called, but just, like I am really cool, nothing's bothering me, I'm not worried about anything. Because when she teaches, she relaxed. You should go to Miss Janice on YouTube, or YouTube Miss Janice, and you'll see her. She's like phenomenal. She's so phenomenal. Anyway, I want to go a little bit further. So it says lessons addressing reading skills such as how to ferret out the main idea, supporting details. And that, to me, when I listen to a person and we're thinking about the supporting details, like what they say, uh, it's like words that bring your attention to what a person is saying. Is, I usually say, well, I don't say in other words. I usually say what I'm saying is, or what I just said means, or I'll explain what I said with a story or something like that. And I noticed that taking the test, one of the licensed natural hair care to become a test, the test to become a licensed natural hair care practitioner. I used to call it the sit down written test, but um, they they turned the multiplication question into a everyone does this, or it's easy. No, by law you can do this, or they 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 ask you, is this a law, or is this one of the laws? The regulations, rule, requirements, laws, standards. That is this one of the laws, right? Instead of asking that, they'll say one of the standards for a practitioner is, just in case you have to take the test again. It's almost like you didn't do standards right, so uh, we're going to give you three standard test questions because you didn't get any of them right the first test. So like that, they have a way to know what you didn't do right. All of the above is expected as if your agents, if your licensed facility, if you're oh I had to say that, if your licensed facility is being expected. They don't ask true or false, or wrong or correct. They don't. It's not like that. But they'll just name it like in a sentence, or and then you have to do all of the above, or check one, circle one, or they don't even do none of the above. So they make you think like, okay, I'm serious. You be like, All right. And then it asks that your final answer. Make you, oh man, what if I get it wrong if I push yes? Okay. Now we got to the part to where it says drawing conclusions, summarizing, or the writer's point of view. One of the best ways to know what that, look at me leaning. Oh, I'm getting comfortable, you guys. Hey. Because either I lean back or I lean. Oh, right now. Okay. One of the best ways for you to know the writer's point of view, or to know that I'm supposed to summarize, is by what you're reading. That's one of the reasons why you read. You don't have to read out loud as I'm talking, but read so that you can hear your voice. So that you can hear your voice. Because when you do that, it's like you are really talking, even though you're reading. And don't read it fast. Read it at a pace to whereas many people take the GED. And then if you have the word test after it, you don't be afraid to read it over again. You see, I'm doing it right. It says many people take the GED test one module or section at a time. That right there, to me, says that it's possible to do it faster, but you want to take it at your own pace. Even though I said that earlier about making the commitment, you want to do it. And then it also tells you that drawing conclusion and summarizing, about drawing conclusion and summarize, it says you will be asked to apply these skills not only in the language arts section of the test, but also in the social studies, science, and in some parts of the mathematical reasoning test. That right there says the different types of tests, and it's going to be applied in every single area. And one of the positive things about that is that teaches us not only how to do it on paper, but to do it in real life. You have to learn to use these skills in real life. So reasoning through language arts, reasoning through math, reasoning, because like when you go to store, I mean, this is the small, on the smallest level of reasoning. I only have $5, and I have to get home, and it costs $2.50. How much can I spend? That's reasoning. Can I buy a $5, or can I spend? You know what I mean? You have to reason. So that's what it's talking about. Okay, so let's turn the page, but I want to read that last word. The best way to become better at anything is to practice. Okay, let's say, for example, um, what month is this? We want to take the, because you can take it separately. You don't have to take the whole test at the same time. That's why the tests are available. For example, if you are having the hardest time with math, or if you're having the hardest time with science, if you're having the hardest time with whatever, right? And you're having the hardest time because of comprehension. Okay. And you can comprehend math good, but I can't seem to comprehend science. So you would probably want to concentrate on math. The reason being is because maybe that's the first test you want to take. And it's not like once you take the test, you can't take it again if you pass. I don't even know what I wanted to do when I took the test. I got about an 80%, so it was like 78%. I wasn't even able to take the test over to get a higher score. So as we're reading, we're going to find out if we can do that. We're going to see if we can take the GED test. I mean, I'm most sure you don't want to. It's like, oh, I passed, woohoo, But it's not like that with me. It's like I already know that what I learned here, I'm going to, go further. And because I saw that it prepares you for college math, college. Well, hey, hold up. What did it say? Prepare you for? Because I would like to tutor. I love to tutor. I didn't even finish what I was gonna say. I would like to tutor college students. So in order to tutor a college student, you have to be at a college tutoring level. You can't. I mean, I know that I can teach high school students how to do math because, especially if they want to go to college and they want to pass that, it's a college, it's a placement test that they have to take, and that should help. This should help them to get better at doing placement tests. Okay. Okay. So it says to become better at anything is to practice. The same is true if you want to become a better reader. Make it a habit to read something substantive every day. And that's what we did, and it proved the point. That point was proven because every single day we went over the module for becoming a licensed natural hair care practitioner. One of the suggestions that I'm going to suggest to you is what I did for my, or do for anybody that I tutor, is I usually have a meeting with the parents and I ask them to put the words at the bottom of the screen because now the parent and I are working together to help the student learn. Meaning, if you go to YouTube and you want to tutor in math, you want to learn math. Let me see which math you got. Oh, it even tells you determine an author's purpose or point of view in a text and explain how it is conveyed and shapes the content and style of a text. That sounds like good English. Okay, I need to find math. I see science, social study. I passed it. Sorry. Okay, so in this first chapter of the mathematical reasoning test, we will receive the real number system, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing real numbers. See, math is math, and math will always be multiplying, dividing, reading, adding, and subtracting. That's math. But anyway, let me stop. I didn't want to tell you that. What I would really want to tell you is the help with reading and math is to find operations with real numbers. You put that in the search engine on your YouTube channel, and then I like it because I like the tutoring. It's like an hour or something now, and then put captioning on. Captioning. It's like when I'm learning Spanish, I put captioning on. They're speaking Spanish, and instead of I'm listening and reading, pausing it, touching the back arrow. If there's an arrow that goes this way, an arrow that goes that way, an arrow goes up, and an arrow that goes down. I'm touching the back arrow so that I can hear what they're saying. Or I'm watching a movie and with my finger on the pause button with the Spanish captions on. So now it's speaking Spanish and I'm looking at a slow motion movie because you can make it slow. I still have a PSP, so you can make it slow. And it's like watching a slow, uh, a picture book. It's like watching one of those that the picture just slowly changes. You turn in the pages or flipping through the pages real quick and the picture is gone. With every flip of the page, the hand is just, it's like watching one of that, one of those. Anyway, these are just hints. Okay. So you want to do stuff that's more. And one of the reasons why you want to do stuff that's more is because you are learning in a way that you can teach others. You will be so good at learning that there won't be no, oh, if you hear anybody say, you don't know how to do that, let me show you how I learned how to do it. And then you can explain. or you can become like your kids were, or little children, or you were when you were little. Mom, did you know? I talk to my mother all the time about computers until one day she literally cracked up laughing. She said, "You want to know why I'm laughing?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." I mean, she was cracking up. She said, "I don't understand a thing that you said, but I am so happy that you're here that I'm listening to you talk." Because I love talking. I told you, whatever I'm learning, I talk about it. I'm practicing, when I was practicing to become a licensed natural hair care practitioner, it's like I want to teach that to people so that they can have a career in doing something, and you don't have to do hair. I didn't learn that until, because I used to go to school for a lot of stuff. I went to school to be a surgical tech, and I was like, when I turn 50, I don't want to be a surgical tech. And that right there, that sentence right there, when I turn a certain age, I don't want to do this, is what made me back out a whole lot of stuff. Until one day I was like, I know a whole lot of stuff. So let me tutor. Now when I tutor, it's totally different because I'm tutoring people and constantly telling them that with these skills you can do, like with as a licensed natural hair care practitioner, you can teach people how to do it. Just by doing the minimum. And you'll see in my practical, I was doing one thing, but I was teaching you all what not to do and what to do. So I did a practical because you need to learn what not to do and what to do. And you need to be the eyes in that book. You need to be the eyes for the module. You need to be the inspector for the module. So you can get hired as an inspector. Or you want to tutor, you can get hired as a teacher at a beauty school. Just be very good at what you do and present yourself as a professional, and then just go for it. Like I was driving down 82nd today, and I was like, "Now where is that school at?" I was trying to figure out how far it is from. Yeah, I want to be everything that I can be besides a hairstylist. Oh, look at this. Created a vision problem with the dividend 27,063 inside the division symbol and the divisor 31 to the side. Now divide the numbers using your calculator. Now, what you have to learn here is what the dividend is, what the divisor is, and then how to use the calculator. It says a number line is a useful aid to visualize how to add with signed numbers. As I'm looking at this, I'm like, I can't believe this test will be this easy. Wait. Okay, then when raising one exponent to another, multiply the exponents. That's what I'm saying. See, there are words. Remember, I said there's some words that you forgot. There's some rules that you forgot. So, and then they're talking about absolute value. And again, when you have this book, you go online, and then you turn the sound down and put the words on, and put your hand or your finger on the space bar, because that's the pause button. And you literally take your time and read. This is another way to learn how to comprehend. Or let them talk and you read. That's another way to teach you how to read faster. Or you open up your book like I'm doing and just read it, but whisper it so that you can hear it. In this first chapter of the mathematical reasoning test, we will review. And the thing is, hold on. Now look at this. It says the GAD test. I know I'm flipping through because I'm really getting ready to end. The GED test will access some or all of these skills with questions relating to this standard. Now, see, I'm telling you, everything has rules, standards, regulations, requirements, statutes, and laws. You'll see. Edit to, oh, let me stop. Okay, this book is really seems good. All right, friends, I'm going to enjoy studying with you, and I'm going to go for now, and I will definitely be back maybe either later or tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying your evening. Enjoy yourself, okay?